into the. You are now tuned into the. You are now tuned into the Fraudcast.
Oh my gosh. So, hi.
Hi.
Good
Love in
morning.
Paradise. Good morning.
Love in Paradise. I am still digging this. I'm starting to see some of the 90-day tropes, but I'm hoping, we'll see. The fact that at least it's different couples and it's a little like they're not trying to, I have said this before, not trying to fit them in the box of like before the 90 days or like we have to get married at the end of this. That alone is enough to make it exciting for me. So I'm okay with the putting the little 90-day tropes in there, the Matt Sharp signature secret and things like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they have their I don't even, yeah, it is a 90-day thing, but it seems like it's filtering out to all their shows where there's like secrets and
right,
all of them. So
right.
if Sharp is producing it, then this is kind of the basic template that they use.
Yes. And actually, sorry, before we get started, I want to, I hope you guys will indulge me for just a second. My beautiful friend, Chelsea, who, by the way, got ordained yesterday, and I watched the ceremony. It was beautiful. She, her husband just got on the National Kidney Registry. He needs a new kidney. And I just want to share that link with all of you guys. It's not a registry where they're asked like a GoFundMe. It's not a crowdsourcing thing as far as that goes. It's not asking for money. What it is asking for is awareness of this, kidney issue and creating more donors, more possible living donors. If you know somebody or you're interested in it, I'm going to link his information, Matt McCutcheon. It's going to be linked down in the show notes. If you want to just take a look and just read it, information, share it. If it's something that you want to register for, that's great too. No pressure. There's no money. It just, if you can take a look at it and read it and share it if you can, if you want to. He's in dialysis like 4 days a week right now. And, he's trying to get a new kidney. So, thank you for indulging me. Now let's get back to Love in Paradise. Okay. So Love in Paradise. So let's go to Jamaica with Ariana and Sherlon. Now, Ariana's pregnant and she has her mom and two of her sisters with her. One of her sisters has met Sherlon already when they met him initially, and the other sister has not. And then there's mom. So they get down there, and because of like COVID and everything, apparently Jamaica has this like strict curfew. So they were not sure if they can see him that night, but then they go down to the beach and they see him on his boat, his family boat that they take people out, Reefer in Paradise or something like that, where they take people out to the reefs.
Oh,
And,
I thought you said Reefer.
it is. They call it like, yeah. So it's
it just hit me.
Get it?
Get it? Hit me. Anyway.
Yeah, that's his family
business, huh?
Yeah. In God. Yeah, Reefer. It's like Reefer in Paradise. I don't know. Like if I can find the link for it for his family business, I'll link it in the show notes. But oh my God, it's like a boat. They take him out, and I don't know if they like they go like not scuba diving, but the other one, snorkeling.
Oh, yes.
Snorkeling and stuff on the reefs, get it? But it's also this, I don't know if they like smoking up the ganja after.
I would assume that is a part of the entertainment.
I have no idea. But that's his family business, right? And so they end up seeing him because his boat is on the way coming back in. So they end up seeing him that night, and mom and sisters meet him. So you had some thoughts on mom interrogating Sherlon.
I just don't like the whole family's coming to visit with like this weird intention of like, what are you going to do for my daughter? Or, you know what I mean? It just seems like the whole gang up on the one guy because
right,
your daughter and him both fucked up.
Yeah.
But they
yeah.
come there like, guarding the princess. What are you going to do for her now that you got her
Yeah.
pregnant?
Are you going to
It's
take
like,
care of it? Are you going to like, what are you going to do? Like, are you going to step up to the plate? And,
I hate that so much. I do agree that there should be like involvement, but like, don't force people to like step up in a way that's not going to work, because
Right.
then you're just creating a bad situation. We see it in Kalani and fucking Asuelu, where the only reason they got married is because she got pregnant.
Right.
Granted,
Right.
I don't know. They may have found some love otherwise, but it seems like that was the catalyst to move things forward and get married
Right.
and, whatever. So it's like, sometimes that shit's not just, it's just not going to work. So I hate the whole like, well, what are you going to do for her and how are you going to be there for her? And,
Right.
as if like he put a magic spell on her and told her not to.
Right. Not to use protection. Right.
Both of them, damn it.
Well, part of what I think makes this whole interaction so weird for me is so the relationship between Ariana and Sherlon is very awkward, right? Their interactions are very awkward. And I think, they haven't been real clear on this, but from what they've shown, it does not appear that they are in a love relationship, right? Like she keeps talking about, I hope he comes to the US and we have a family together. But they're not in a relationship in a way other than he's her baby daddy, right? Or,
Right.
He's the father of her kid. And so like, it's like they have this weird side hug thing happening and, which, okay, I mean, this is what happens, right?
Well, they're
like,
essentially strangers.
Right.
Honestly.
And don't, I mean, I don't think they should force a romantic relationship where there isn't one. Like, accept it for what it is. But does she like him more than that? And is she okay with them just being co-parents? Which is fine. You can be co-parents. You don't have to be in a romantic relationship just because you had you're going to have a baby together, right? Be good co-parents. You might actually be better for the baby if you're just good like friends, co-parents, rather than trying to force a relationship that's not there, because then you start getting resentments and not meeting expectations and all of this stuff.
Right.
And that's just icky, right? That's not good for the kid. Like, just if it's not a relationship, just be friends and co-parents, right?
Exactly.
So yeah. So I don't know. That's my thought on it. She's all self-conscious because she's pregnant, and she says, because she had just lost a ton of weight when she met him. So she was all, like feeling herself, which is, great, fantastic. But now she says she's pregnant. She says she doesn't look pregnant. She just feels fat and looks fat. And she's all self-conscious because he's around all these beautiful women. And they talk about his work at the swingers resort, and he denies that he sleeps with any of the people.
Well, why is he going to publicly say he's breaking the rules for his job?
Right.
Just saying.
I don't think she believes him, but he's saying, like, she understands that he has to say that because, like, he shouldn't, in theory, have slept with her either. Maybe I don't know. I guess because he didn't meet her there. I don't know.
I think just the dynamics have changed. Like, if he were to be in a relationship, his type of job and the things how he fucking met her and how quickly that went would probably be on the mind of, okay, well, how many times have you since I'm gone? And how many times will you?
Right. I mean, like, that's clearly he's the type to do that. She's the type to do that too. And I ain't knocking that. Like, I'm not knocking that at all, but the expectation, the understanding has to be that if both of them were willing to do that with each other, then he's probably willing to do that with other people too.
Well, more so as if they're deciding to have a relationship and it is monogamous, then I guess it's just common sense that you wouldn't do that. So I really don't know what's going on with them. It's like really confusing.
Yeah, they haven't been clear about that, which leads me to think that, like, either they're setting that up for the storyline, or that just really is like, there isn't any more clarification on it. And that's, I mean, the storyline is that it's confusing, what should it be? What should the relationship be? Is there something more than just us being co-parents? she met him and hopped in bed with him. Like, yeah, like you said, they're strangers to each other. So
Right. Well, and that's why, like, nothing else. I mean, hopefully they've gotten to know each other a little bit long distance wise and then decided if they really want to have a relationship. But I mean, it seems more serious if you're going to drag your whole fucking family there to meet them.
Right.
So I don't understand what the outcome is supposed to be of this. Like,
yeah,
my mom's going to grill you for our bad choice. And that's the episode.
Right. Right. Well, I guess we'll see, I don't know. Like, I don't want it to focus on that. I want them to work out their awkwardness. I want to see that. I want to see them being awkward with each other. I don't really care so much about the mom grilling him because, like you said, that's just like whatever. But I want to see them try to figure out their awkwardness. So hopefully we get to see.
They need some time alone to talk about what they think it should be and what they both want.
Right. She says that they
people.
Yeah, they need to have those conversations that they haven't had them thus far, which seems weird to me. Like, if you're that pregnant, like, and you're coming down with your whole family, like, it feels like you should have had some of those conversations before.
Maybe she's better talking in person.
That's true.
Some people just are.
Yeah.
Or he's avoiding, some people don't like messaging.
Yeah.
Or Skype.
And maybe, not having a lot of Zoom calls or FaceTime or whatever, and yeah, maybe they need to see what their interaction is together in person and see if they have chemistry, see if there is something more than just, okay, we're going to be co-parents, I don't know, but I'm excited to find out. So that's that couple.
All right. So, let's take a moment for some real talk. We're in a pandemic now. I think we've been in it for like a year, actually, almost to the day.
Mm-hmm.
How are you? Like, what's, how are you doing? What's interfering with your happiness?
The biggest thing that I've been dealing with in the pandemic, particularly early on, but still now, is anxiety, which came out of the blue for me because anxiety is not one of my go-to issues. Other ones, yes, but anxiety, no. So I have actually had to take a step back and learn some new coping techniques and mechanisms to help me deal with anxiety.
Right. And I mean, even right now, seeking therapy is a normal thing, right? BetterHelp is a great, because I don't like traditional brick and mortar therapy. It doesn't work for my schedule. Like, I don't want to have to drive to it.
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't feel comfortable in face-to-face. Like, I don't open up in face-to-face situations. So that's what's great about BetterHelp, is because it's not a crisis line. It's a professional counseling service provided online, and it's secure. There's licensed professionals who specialize in variety issues, including depression. And what I can relate to the most is stress, especially anxiety, because I'm juggling work. I'm a teacher. I do, homeschooling for my son every day, even the weekends. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to establish some kind of work-life balance, in a pandemic. It's really hard.
When everybody's working from home and everybody's all up in your space.
Exactly. And, one thing that, for me, security, I feel like anything I share will be confidential.
Well, absolutely. I mean, if they're professional counselors, then you get the same kind of professionalism, but a much more convenient and even affordable way by doing it through BetterHelp. And we want you to start living a happier life today. As a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting betterhelp.com/fraudcast. Join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/fraudcast for 10% off your first month. The next couple we see the next couple we're going to talk about is Amber and Daniel. Now, this is the Costa Rica couple, although he's from like Venezuela or something. I don't care. I always get this wrong. I got it wrong on the last episode.
You did.
I did, because I listened to it and I was like, oh shit, I was wrong. I forget.
It's okay. We know where they're from. We don't have to.
Okay. Okay. they're in any case, they are in Costa Rica, and their storyline so far has been they're like totally in love, but she is talking realistic now. Like, he proposed on one of the trips, so they had built this genuine relationship. There's no pregnancy forcing anything, but her question is, so she's trying to get him over on the K-1 visa. But she's concerned because, is there, in the real world, what's the relationship going to be like? Every time she's been there, it's been like vacation mode. So how is that going to translate to real world? And then she's getting a glimpse of it because she keeps asking him to do, she keeps asking him to do his paperwork and the things that he needs to do. And he hasn't done it. But the other thing is that she's basically financing their relationship and everything together because he didn't have a job, and then he has a job, but he doesn't make much money or whatever. And so she's starting to get some resentments about that. So she gets to Costa Rica and she's like, well, I can't be mad at him right now just because I'm so excited to see him and all this stuff. But then so he does this big romantic thing for her, like this picnic thing. What did you think of him trying to do that?
I mean, it's an effort. It's more than other people do. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. That's true. And then so she's all excited because he has flowers and wine and he has this whole thing, and so she's excited. But then he's also trying to butter her up because he has a secret. So his secret is that he quit his job.
Oh God, scandalous. Fuck.
I know. And that he quit his job so that he had time to go all over the island and get the paperwork that he needs to get for the K-1 visa, except that he hasn't actually done any of that. So Amber is pissed off because this is just the exact scenario she didn't want. And he's proving that to her, at least in her eyes, that he's not really an adult. Like, he's not mature to do what he needs to do.
Well, I mean, the fact that he thinks he has to quit his job to have more time to get the paperwork for the visa.
Yeah.
That was the reason.
Yes.
I wanted more time to do what I was supposed to do.
That
it
in
doesn't
itself,
make any fucking sense.
Why? And his excuse is things work differently here, which I can understand. Like, you can't necessarily just get online and maybe call the police department and, submit your request for your, criminal record or whatever it is, all the documents that you need, your birth certificate and all this stuff. But you get days off. Do you work 18 hours a day, 7 days a week?
Well, he has to have enough time for leisure.
Right. He lives on a fucking...
Because it's definitely not spent cleaning rooms. For leisure. I need to quit my job to do adult stuff. That's how we all do it.
Oh,
I'm doing it wrong.
I'm doing it wrong.
My job so I can go do adult stuff.
Oh my God.
I need to quit my job so I can figure out how I'm going to pay my bills. What the fuck?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't like him for her because of all this.
I feel like she's trying to accept him and kind of, I don't want to use the word mold, but kind of
help him grow up.
Yeah. Oh, that's terrible.
That's what it is, right?
Kind of. It is that dynamic that seems like she's trying to wrangle a fucking teenager to do what they're supposed to do in college,
Yeah.
Mom, I had to quit my job so I could, focus on the SATs.
Yeah. That's like quitting school to focus on studying for the SATs. Right?
I mean, admittedly, it was a hard test.
Yeah, but you don't quit school to do it. You work around your schooling to do it. Even Baby Frauded is more adult than this kid.
No.
And Baby Frauded is not getting engaged anytime soon.
No?
No.
No Costa Rica trips, though?
No. He and his girlfriend they're adorable. They've been together for a year. She just graduated from high school. She's going off to college in a couple weeks. So yeah, he's dating an older woman. She's a year ahead of him, and they're adorable together.
The scandal.
I know.
A year
but
ahead.
I know. They're going to have to like survive long distance, which is like a 6-hour drive. It's not that bad. You know, and he's, you know, today, actually, the day this episode is going to be released is the whatever the new, I think they call it like Common Core, but it's not Common Core math. It's something where it's like a common college application, like it's a consolidated,
Interesting.
which is so different from how I did it. Like I filled out applications with like pen on paper, like not even a computer, right? Like I filled out my applications. That's how long ago I went to school. But apparently, yeah. So it's kind of weird because he's starting to apply to schools.
Well, and that brings a good point too, is that like even for the visa application is not that much. It's okay. It's a lot of
gathering
paperwork collecting, but nothing makes that easier. And waiting doesn't make that easier.
Right.
And like they're going to hit that expiration date where if you don't have things going, they just drop and you have to start over again. Right. So I understand her frustration with like, why aren't you moving faster? And he's just like, well, things here move slow. You know, we don't rush here. And
but he hasn't done dick. Like
it's like, but you haven't like even started. I think that's the problem. So I don't know. She's probably going to like drag him to every area where he has to get his documents and such and fill them out for him. Probably. Right. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah. That's interesting. I like watching this and seeing how it's going to play out. Like, since we know it doesn't have to end in marriage, you know, because of the type of show it is, like they could break up. They could, you know, just watching these actual relationships play out is what is sort of exciting to me. So that is Amber and Daniel. Next we have Kay and Mark in Panama. So we have Mark arriving from California, and they clearly have a ton of intense chemistry. They clearly, like, they're 10 years or whatever it is, 10 years have passed or something like that since they were originally together. And they talk about how, like, when they met, she didn't speak any English, he doesn't speak any Spanish, and they were together, right? Like, right. They clearly have this intense physical passion, this intense connection, this chemistry. And you can see that when he arrives now, like that doesn't seem to have changed. But they're sitting, having drinks and all this stuff. And she's talking about how she's a different person now, that she's not on ketamine anymore. She's, you know, the person he had originally met, you know, she was on drugs and she's not now. And so things are different. And so, but I don't think that's going to be an issue for them. Like, he seems like, no, like we've been talking to, like, I love you. Like, you know what I mean? Which I think is great. Like, it seems like they have, like, that's not going to be an issue. But she does bring up, like, she has spent a lot of time learning a lot of English. It's not like 100% comfortable for her yet, but she has learned some, and she wants him to learn Spanish. Now, this is a trope we've seen before with Corey and Evelyn. Right. Like, she gets on him about it. Now, we have the issue in almost all the 90 days where the person going to the other country doesn't learn the language. That's normal. But the storyline of, like, look, I know your language, you need to learn mine. And him being like, okay, well, maybe, like, why do I need to? You know, which I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, and sometimes, like, springing a new language on people, especially the older they get, it's not, you know, and maybe he was selfishly thinking she was learning English to just better communicate altogether. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we assume that other countries, they'll speak English too, and we're fine. We don't have to worry about, we don't have to worry about the native language for them. But, and then in her mind, maybe she wants to be able to relax a little bit. It'd be nice to, you know, not have to walk him around or, you know, babysit him doing things. Like, you got to learn the language to exist,
to get around. Yeah. Well, a couple of thoughts too, is that one is, like, he lived there before. How did he, you know, and he ran a hostel and stuff. How did he interact and do things? Because he didn't just go there on vacation. Like, he was living there. How did he do all that?
I think higher up, the more businessy industry you get, you're going to get a lot more people who speak English.
Okay.
You're
that
probably
makes
going to have
sense.
translators. You don't have to do it, but he's not going to have a translator in the bedroom.
Right. And that's one of the things that the other thought is that she had said specifically, like, she has a difficult time always expressing herself in English.
Right.
And she wants to be able to like express her feelings with him. And she has a difficult time with that because she can't, speak English. I mean, hell, I have a difficult time with that. And I
Right.
only speak English, right? I can't speak other languages, unlike
and
you
some
who can
things
speak
don't-
Japanese and all these other things.
I'm learning German.
Oh my God.
I know. But like, I think that some things don't translate well when
Mhm.
you try to put them in English. And English doesn't translate very well either because it's too literal sometimes. So love language doesn't really translate well.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I could understand wanting to express yourself in your native language because then you know what you're saying and it's not being taken as something else. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, and they have some differences in their expectations and what they want, but also they're trying to figure out what they want, right? Like, do we still have what we used to have? Do we want to take this further? Like, they're trying to figure it out. And I feel like communication on that is really critical because it's one thing to have like sexual chemistry, and all that, but it's another thing entirely to build an actual relationship.
well, if their only grind point at the moment is that he needs to learn Spanish, I think they're probably pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he'll be fine. Just get
He'll be
Duolingo. He'll be fine.
I don't know. Like, I can't speak other languages. I have a very difficult time learning other languages. I've never tried Duolingo. I've never tried any of that. So I don't know if that would be like work for my brain, but my brain has a very, like, in high school and college, I took languages and I failed miserably. Like, I barely passed Spanish after like 3 years in high school and 3 years in college. I can barely speak, and I lived in San Diego and went to Mexico. I barely speak the language. So hopefully he's not like me.
Hopefully, but then he can express that. Hey, I just don't learn it well, but he can at least fucking try.
Yeah, I would at least try now. Like with all of these new things out there, like
they basically spoon feed you the language. Like when I learned Japanese, it was through academia. It was in classes. It was over like 7 years, and I'm still not fluent in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I tried Duolingo for German, and it's actually pretty darn easy, but it helps that German language is the same basis. So it helps, right? But like for me and him, just try, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah. And it's funny, Baby Frauded stepmom teaches on what's the other one? Not Duolingo, but
Rosetta Stone.
Yeah, she teaches Rosetta Stone. She teaches French. She's a French teacher. She's taught high school. She's taught junior high. She's taught all of this. So she speaks French fluently. She teaches that. I feel like with things like Rosetta Stone and Duolingo, like there are a lot of different ways you could learn it. And I mean, hell, he's living in a Spanish speaking country, right? Like, isn't that the best way to learn stuff, is immerse yourself in it?
Usually. But, like I said, you have to be open to learn. If you're walking around just searching for the English and not trying, then no, it's not going to get into your system.
Interesting.
Was there anything else with them? I just sat at a table the whole time.
Yeah, for sure. This whole episode is just the couples, the one couple coming back to the Caribbean. Stephen and Martine. Now this one was funny. They are what island are they on? Barbados?
Woo, I don't remember.
I don't know. I'm trying to look here.
I can always find out.
Yeah,
I can always find out. Maybe.
Let me see.
Yeah, it's Barbados.
Okay. Yeah. So she's in Miami. So we get a little bit more of her backstory too, is that she lived in New York and went to school there. and had met him on one of her vacations. And then she decided she wanted to move to Miami because, Western New York or upstate New York, wherever she was just too cold and gross for her, which I can't disagree with her on, having spent time in the winter up there. So she moves to Miami, and then that's obviously a lot closer for her to just like zip over to Barbados and to see him. And we see more of their dynamic now. Her desire is for them to like take this relationship to the next level and be committed and get married and have a baby, because that'll fix everything. And for him to come to Miami, and he doesn't want that at all in any way, shape, or form. He loves the relationship the way it is. She comes into town, they bone, they have fun, they're on vacation, she goes back, everything's fine. He can do whatever he wants there. We also find out he has a kid, a little daughter. And he's like, I'm not leaving my daughter. Like, why would I? And she's just like, well, we need to do something. I started liking her less on this episode because of like sort of how unreasonable she was being. Not that she's unreasonable in what she wants. Like, she wants a committed relationship out of something. I'm not faulting her for that. What I don't like is the way she's trying to force him and be like, look, you owe me this, when he's like, I don't want this. And that is, a sticking point in, or maybe a breaking point in a lot of relationships,
Right. Well, I mean, he's used to something and she wants it to be more relationship, more committed. Mm-hmm. And I think that he liked their relationship because it wasn't that. So
right, exactly. And what's interesting, so we see them, having a meal together, and they're having this conversation, and they're both like being open and honest, right? Like, which I love, which is refreshing. They're both saying what they want and and what they don't want. And I feel like we haven't seen that on some of the 90 Day stuff, where we're screaming at the TV. Just tell him that this, that, don't pretend, and he's not pretending. And, she's not either. She's saying, look, I want a ring. And he's like, wait, what? You want me to propose, and then you want me to move? And what about my daughter? The other thing I didn't like is they showed the preview scenes for the next episode, which I can't wait, is her talking to his daughter. And of course, it's not in context. We don't know what is cut out. We only know what she's showing. What they're showing is these little clips of her like telling the daughter, you want me to marry your dad, and you want to have a little baby sister or brother, and all of this stuff, which I think is absolutely bullshit.
That's kind of crazy and weird.
It's bullshit to involve a kid in an adult. As Dr. Phil says, you don't involve kids in adult issues.
Yeah, but they like to do that to pull sympathy from the other parent. I've been there. Mm-hmm. So it's like, don't cloud kids like that. It's so fucked up.
Yeah, because that's like, yeah, and she likes her. Like, the daughter likes Martine and stuff, and that's great. But to use that as a manipulation tactic for dad, like, no. So this is just hot garbage, and this is proving to be, their relationship is going to be interesting to see. How that, I just wish there wasn't a kid involved, but we got to get over that. But yeah, now their first night, they show them in the bathtub. Please share your thoughts on this.
The reenactments for the camera. I'm like, we've already seen tits.
Yes.
I don't
but maybe
want
she
porn.
didn't agree.
I don't want porn.
She didn't agree to show her tits.
It's just so weird. It's like let's take a bath together and keep our bathing suits on. It's like, is this Twitch? No kidding. So some people might get the joke.
I get it.
Anyways, it was just really weird. You know how it is though. Yes. They're like, okay, we want you guys to like, have an intimate moment. It's just so funny.
Because they're they clearly are, very sexually have the sexual chemistry, and they're gonna, go and bone in the hotel or whatever, and maybe have like a romantic, let's have a bubble bath with the pink champagne and all of this stuff. But they have their bathing suits, and then, like you said, they're reenacting it for the camera. Like, at least on shows like Love After Lockup, those poor cameramen, like they just get kicked out of the room and then they listen through the doors when they're having sex in the shower and things like that. They don't reenact that bullshit. Like they make the camera crews actually film this stuff, right? And this is a reenactment, but it's probably more than we see on, stuff that's not on an ad, stuff that's on network
Yeah,
TV.
and that's fine. They can cut the camera there.
But that'll be interesting. So another thing that's interesting about so those are the 4 couples. That's it. There's only 4 couples on this show, which is what 90 Day started out as. If you go back to the first season, they only had 4 couples and then they add more. So the thing about having only 4 couples is you can spend more time with them and get to know them, which I like, right? We got to see more of some of their backstories. We got to see seeing Martine's backstory and how she ended up there. I love those stories. I love learning how people ended up where they did, how they landed where they did, right? And so being able to spend more time with each of these couples is good. Of course, because it's on Discovery Plus versus TLC, we get to see a little bit more risque content. I mean, not just seeing the physical boobs and butt that we saw, but the topics that they talk about, and we don't have to get the editing, editing out cuss words and stuff. So it feels a little bit more genuine. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So anyway, I'm excited to see what this next episode. I have to figure what day does it come out?
I don't know. The next
it just discovered
it's already out. I just didn't watch it yet.
Is it? The episode 3 is out? Okay, cool.
Oh, okay. I had to not watch it so I didn't get confused talking about it.
Right. Well, I'm going to go watch it next because I can't deal with a real episode of Happily Ever After. Are we onto the tell-all yet? We can cover the tell-all, but I can't cover the episodes anymore. It's just horrible. Yeah. So that is Love in Paradise. Guys, you guys who are watching this with us, please come and comment in the Instagram posts about it when I post the episodes, or post screenshots from it, because I want to hear what you guys are thinking about this stuff. Again, I think it's a refreshing change to see new couples. I love that. We also have seen in the past week or so the trailer for The Other Way, the next season of The Other Way, which is I think season 3. Season 4? I'm not sure.
I can't remember.
But there's 6 couples and 4 of them are retreads. So yeah. We're going to get Jenny and Submit again. Jenny being my cracker eater, which is just I can't deal. We see her in the trailer. She's they
just have to get rid of footage, and then they had all the quarantine stuff, and I think that all mashes into the 90 Day Diaries. Yeah, because it's not enough to make a really full blown episode, but it's enough to touch on them.
Oh, 90 Day Diaries. Yes.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
I was talking about The Other Way, the trailer for The Other Way, the new season of The Other Way that's coming out.
Oh, goodness. Yeah. My brain is going all over the place.
No, it's okay. We're going to, just so you guys know.
It's just because I hear those couples and I'm like, these couples are fucking recycled. They're everywhere.
Well, yeah. So we are covering, or just letting you know, we're going to cover some 90 Day Diary stuff, regular episodes. Since we don't have a Patreon anymore, we're going to put them out here on our regular free feed. But we just had to go in and watch Diaries because I just okay, what kind of hot garbage are these couples up? And it's not, like you said, not a whole season. They're more bite-sized. So we're going to put episodes out talking about The Other Way. I mean, not the Diaries. So 90 Day Diaries, which is also on Discovery Plus. So look out for those episodes. They will be all their own individual episodes so that you can pick and choose. You don't have to suffer it. If you don't want to listen to it, you don't have to. If you want to check it out, you can. But anyway, let's finish with The Other Way. So we get recycled content on Jenny and Submit. We get Corey and Evelyn. We get,
it's really interesting to see Corey and Evelyn though, because I thought that they had fizzled out.
Yeah.
Contract wise. With all the drama on Instagram, I thought maybe they were done. but it seems like TLC waived the money and they shut up again. So,
yeah. What other couples? There was like 4 couples. Jesus. So yeah, Evelyn, Sumit and Jenny. Oh my God. I'm totally blanking. I'm having a complete
do I have
blank.
to Google this? Okay, hold on.
Yes. Oh, Binyam and Ari, Ethiopia. Oh, and Armando and Kenny. That's who it is.
Okay.
That's it. So Armando and Kenny, which I think in Mexico, I think that people are excited to see them. And we know that they've gotten married. So I guess this will focus, and some of the shows them talking about, are you going to be a bridezilla and stuff. So I know people are excited to see them. And then, yes, Binyam and Ariella in Ethiopia, it looks like. So, and then we have 2 new couples, which I think one's Turkey and the other's, I don't remember what the other one is. So I'm just going to be honest with y'all. I'm going to fast forward through most of those couples. So we'll try to cover it, I think, but I don't know. You may have to cover it. And I'll just talk. Okay. All right, that's it. That's it. That's all we got for you this on Love in Paradise. We will see you later. You guys, please don't forget to check out the link for my friend Chelsea's husband. Just check it out and educate and share if you can, or, whatever. Just trying to gather awareness. Anyway, thank you guys. We are the Fraudcast, and we're dumpster diving, so you don't have to.